Hello, it's Stephanie with Coffee Paper Scissors. I wanted to show you real quick this. I added a few more things. I found these. I had pulled them out to consider maybe adding them, and I forgot to do it. So I added these in on the little skirt, and I think that it finished it off just perfectly. I'm going to put it up close so you can see. I'm thinking what I'll do whenever I go to use this, I don't know when that'll be. I think I'll probably fussy cut her out and lay her down on lacy stuff or something like that. I don't know. I really like how her arm is loose. It gives it more dimension. Silly, but anyway. Alrighty, so there's that. Today I am working on more scraps. So, I don't know. I think this was the scraps that I got from cutting this up. So instead of not doing anything with them and letting them sit there forever, I'm doing something with them. And I have decided to use, these are the chipboard Tim Holtz people, and these were sent to me by Ardith a while back, and I hadn't used any of them yet that I can think of. So perfect time to use them. I colored them. I haven't done that before either, but I didn't know if I had anything in my craft room that would stay on it and not wipe off. And I didn't, but my daughter has these alcohol markers. So I went through and found a few colors that would go, you know, with these particular papers. Honestly, I would like to use different colors on the paper dolls, and I will at some point, but it didn't go with these papers. So I've got them mostly ready. I noticed I didn't ink up this label, so we'll do that real quick. But I've inked everything, and I've sewn around them, and they're just ready to be glued together, and I thought I would do that with you. So my house is awfully quiet. Everybody's gone. I've had, you know, I don't know, visitors, because they're my family members, but, you know, people in and out. I haven't done anything in here for a couple days, so my glue is dried up a little bit. Yeah, so I've had somebody, you know, in and out of the house for a month now, and my daughter left to go back to school this morning, so the house is quiet. I need to go and clean her bedding and that sort of thing, you know, because she couldn't do it because she had to get up and leave first thing this morning. So that's okay. What are moms for, right? I do like the fact that she has to do all of her own laundry at school, though. I think that's wonderful. I'm going to leave this sticking off. Thought that would be kind of fun. So I'm making these as small pockets. I tend to not make small pockets, so I thought it'd be, you know, well, different, fun, different. I normally almost make them the width of a page, and it's 4.5 inches, so it's still going to take up a good portion of the page, but not as big as normal. And then we're going to lay her, let's see, I want the glue, I'm going to have her sticking up off, obviously. So we're going to put the glue back here, down on the lower part of her. I really need to be better about remembering to bring a paper towel. Sometimes I remember, you know, just fine, and I didn't have one, so I just got a little bit of glue on her. I mean, obviously it comes off, it's kind of shiny, but I need to put a little bit of glue under her hand here. Sorry about that. And I obviously put enough because it's squishing out. So that'll be fine. I have a little bow. Originally, I was thinking, wouldn't it be cute to poke a hole inside of here and actually tie something around her? But then I thought, you know, I think I'll do that sometime with the papery ones. I didn't want to try and get something through the chipboard. And maybe it would have been easy, but I decided just gluing it down was going to be enough. So I'm going to put a little hot glue, and I'm going to lift it so I can make sure I get it right on her. That's really cute, I think. And then I found, I'm pretty sure that this little label, I got a little thing of words from, I'm pretty sure it was Colleen at Get Art Creations. And Get Art, I always say it wrong, Colleen, I'm so sorry. But it worked perfectly. Put a bow on it. I think I want this up here a little bit. And I just think she's adorable. And I have one more thing to put on her. Get this little, oh yeah, there it is, a little glue string. There's a glue string hanging on my hand also. Okay, I have these, I got these so long ago. I mean, when I first started doing paper crafting stuff. And I'm taking off the sticky because I don't rely on those things. And this probably isn't going to be the easiest thing to do, but I have glossy accents and I am going to do my best to put one little dot on her necklace. And that's another thing that's it's so hard to keep the glossy accents, the thing clear. So I'm gonna just put the lid on that and I'll clean it up when we're done. And I'm hoping that I can pick this up and lay it on without flinging it across the room. I did it. Okay, so I'm gonna put that aside and let it dry, but oh, she's so cute. Isn't that adorable? Okay, so let me put her, where? Okay, move some things around. I'll put the next one here and I'll put her over here. Okay, so this one, I have this little girl and I put peachy. I was trying not to make them, you know, the clothes all pink, so it has a little bit of a peach color to it. And I am going to sit her on this flower. So I don't know if you have purchased these from Hobby Lobby. Something I discovered. You pull it out and you're like, oh, okay, nice little chipboard piece, and you go to start gluing it on and you are, you know, messing with it or you're inking it up. And then you're like, wait a second. Make sure you are aware that there are two and they're stuck together. Almost every one of them are stuck together like that. So it looks like one. So just a little tip. So yes, I don't know if I've glued, I know that I haven't used very many of these, but I just wanted to show you guys that just in case you have them, that you're not, you know, because maybe I've glued something, you know, down and it's totally, you know, fallen off. But at least what's behind it is the same thing, I guess. Okay, let's see where I had this. I think I have her sitting on the thing like that. I have a little that, and then I just had a little extra. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So let's go ahead and glue this down. Get my... I like to give myself a little place so I know where to glue. Otherwise, it's never, I never put it back where I wanted it. Too much glue. You guys probably saw that as I was doing it. And then let's see here. If we want this here and her sitting on this, so I'm going to turn this around and not put glue above that line. Of course, I don't know if I'm getting it where I want it, but I think it's kind of right in that area. That's good. We're supposed to get snow, you know, it changes every time you look. It was supposed to start snowing at 10 this morning, and now it's supposed to start snowing at 3 this afternoon. It's getting close to 3 now. Okay, again, I'm going to not put glue there. And when I was looking yesterday, it said 4 to 8 inches. And then tomorrow is supposed to be really windy. So it could be pretty nasty outside. I made sure I got all the stuff in the mail today that I was supposed to get in the mail. So that's good. You know, boxes and stuff like that. Let's put her little bow on. Both sides are kind of okay, but I think this is the front. I did notice I didn't have any like real thin ribbon to use. So, oops, stuck to my finger, the glue did, so, okay. Isn't she cute? Get that off my finger. And then it just looked like it needed a little something extra, so we'll just stick that on there. I can feel the glue strings on my fingers. Now I feel like I can feel it on my mouth, and I haven't touched my face. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't have a jewel for her because her necklace doesn't have a jewel on it. It's a real small little necklace, so I mean, I could put something cute on it. I don't know if I have anything handy. Would it be cute to put something on it? Like use it up? I don't know. I don't know that it would make sense. They're falling off. They're jumping off at me. Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to move this one. We'll put this one over here. I have to get this off in the trash can right at my feet. I am, when I'm done with this video, I am going to go get a paper towel. You watch. The next video, I will have a paper towel. Okay, so for this lady here, I have some of that stuff that I was using on the, I think I'm going to do it on here, that I was using on the skirt for that one paper doll. And I thought it would be good because I didn't have, I was trying to make a bow. It has like a bow wrapped around the little flowers that she's holding. But I was trying to, but it was just too small. I couldn't do it. Okay, so this is an embellishment I've had for quite a while, just in my stash. And I thought it would be fun to have it behind her. So for these, I'm thinking they'll be sideways pockets. So I, you know, glue them onto a page and you would slide something in sideways. Or it could even be at the bottom of the page and be like a lower belly band or something like that. So I'm thinking that, and then she'll be standing on the flower. So I had a real hard time doing this the other day. I actually put these together the other day, but I've been busy, and so I haven't gotten an opportunity to put them together yet. So she'll be standing on the flower. And then I thought I wanted to cover the, not all the way, but cover, you know, the line on one side. And then a little extra something, I thought, just because I thought it needed something extra. And I have them, so why not use them? So let's take her off. And we'll put a line here and a line here, so I know where to put stuff. And then let's see. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to do it again, you know, line things up again. And then that's gonna be hanging off, so we don't want glue here. Maybe I shouldn't use as much glue, right? It's been squishing out all over the place. Maybe don't use so much, Stephanie. So what else is going on? I don't know. I can't think of anything. All right, so glue on all of that. Yeah, so I don't know. We haven't really had snow. I mean, a little bit. We've had a little bit of snow. I don't want to say we haven't had any. But we tend to get our snow in January. Don't get me wrong. We have had November and, you know, it's just stayed all winter. We've had that. But we tend to get a lot in January. And guess what? In the forecast, it shows snow off and on this week, and cold temperatures. I don't want any glue up there. So I'm afraid that it is going to snow and it is going to stay. And some people really like that. But as I've said in the past, if it would avoid sidewalks and roads, I'd be fine with it. But it doesn't do that. Oh, and driveways. But it doesn't. I'm so thankful, though, that we have a decent grocery store, you know, nearby, though. So I don't have to worry about running out of things, and I can run over to the store. I don't have to feel like I'm stuck in my tiny little town. We did have a small store where, you know, you could get stuff. It wasn't like they didn't have stuff. It was a small store, so it was limited. And the store we have now, it's still not huge, but I do most of my grocery shopping there, so that's very convenient. Something that, I don't know if this is true or not in all, I don't know. But, and I don't know if I have very many people who watch my channel who live over on the East Coast, but my nephew is Air Force, and his first duty station was in New Jersey, and he got over there and he said, they're like, I didn't ink that. It's okay, it's dark. He said grocery shopping is a little different over there. Like, there are mom and pop shops on the corners and you go in there and get your food. Is that the case? Is that the way it is a lot over there? Because here, a mom and pop type grocery store there might be a few here and there, like in the Spokane area. I've never been in one of them. Like, I see there's a corner grocery and it's small, and I don't go in. I imagine some people do who maybe have lived near it for a long time or something like that. But he was saying that it's generally, that's where you get your groceries over there. Is that the case? I don't know. It seems kind of interesting to me. Like, we have large grocery stores with all the things you need. I don't know. But I can see, like, that sounds kind of, you know, quaint and a good thing at the same time. It doesn't sound like a bad thing, especially if it's what you're used to and it's keeping small business owners, you know, going, that sort of thing. And they're not being bought out by the giant grocery stores. I can see how that would be good. Okay, I'm going to cut these off, but I'm leaving the leaf. But, you know, if I think, I've never been to New York City, but I'm guessing people don't go to, you know, a lot of people don't even have cars to drive, if I understand it right. And so it's not like they jump in the car and go to the grocery store and, you know, park in the garage and bring their groceries in the house. You know, I don't think it works that way. I think they do walk to the little local shop and get their things. It's a very different way of life that we live in, you know, the same country. It's kind of interesting to me. You think about it. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I know some people from church, and she is from the Pacific Northwest. Her husband is from, I think he's from New York. I don't remember, but I mean, he's got the accent, so I'm not sure where he's from, but he's from somewhere over there. I don't remember. She told me, but I don't remember. Oh, you know, so I colored her also that kind of peachy color, and I added green on the leaf parts, and then, you know, like I said before, her flowers, and then I did it up in her hair also. And she also doesn't have a necklace on, but I wonder if it'd be cute. I'm losing these things like crazy. I wonder if it'd be cute to add, you know, just a little something in her bouquet. No, I don't like it. So what was I saying? So there's that one. And I feel like maybe I've told you this before, but he didn't understand what she meant by the towns and the way the towns were over here, at least in my area. How there's a town, and then there's a bunch of space in between, and then there's another town, and there's space in between, and you know, there's a lot of driving that you do to get from one town to the next, and it's obvious. And he was saying that over where he had been raised, it just was all blended together. And don't get me wrong, there are areas like that here too, like Spokane and Spokane Valley are two separate towns. You cannot tell where one ends and the other one begins. It all blends together. So I get that. And Spokane is growing enough that it's spreading, and that may be the case. There's probably always going to be space in between me and Spokane because there's a river and there's lots of hills, and, you know, it'd be a lot of work to work around that. I have lots of layering to do with this one. These are little embellishment type things that I've had from a paper pack forever, and I'm like, use them, Stephanie, use them. So let's see here. And of course I layer them up and then I undo them and then I forget what I was going to do. So I think I was going to do something like that. I think. Okay, so let's get those first little bits on. Let's ignore that for a minute. So he was confused about what it was going to be like, you know, living in a small town, rural Washington state, I guess. It confused him. And he's like, I get it. You know, when he moved here, like, oh, okay, I get it. So now they recently just bought a house, and it's a long drive. and there's a straight road in between fields of whatever. I'm not even sure what the fields of whatever are. And it's probably hay or something like that on either side of the road, and then just a straight road, and you drive for 20 minutes and that's all it is. And it's weird, you know, to think that that would be regional and not everywhere, but I mean, I guess. I guess. I've never been over, well, no, I have been over to the East Coast. I've been to Florida, but I think that's it. Is that it? I've been to Florida. I'm going to put that a little lower. Put that a little higher, maybe? Come on. And of course, you know, well, I had family. My previous marriage, my husband had family that lived there. So I have been there in order to visit family, and then I've been there in order to visit Mickey Mouse. So that's what I've done in Florida. So this isn't turning out how I thought it was going to. And I don't really know what I want to do here. Once I got it put back, it didn't look quite right to me. Maybe, I'm not even sure about the butterfly. The butterfly is going behind her, but I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Okay. Either, because I think I've kind of messed everything up. No, okay. So the butterfly needs to go on now. It's a lot. It's a lot on this, but that's okay. I am just going to mark that and put it down. Just not any glue on the tips. I've always wanted to go to see the historic stuff over on the other side. I don't know if I'll ever get to. I mean, there's nothing holding me back, especially now my kids are away. I can leave and do and, you know, go ahead and do those things. I know my husband has been to a few places with work and, you know, I didn't go. But not I. I'm sorry, this is probably frustrating watching me put this back on again, but you guys know how it is. I mean, I'm sure you do the same thing. Okay, I think I want this on top, and then I have to mark it every time to make sure, because, you know, I want her hand on the flower and not just hanging out in the middle of nothing. And I want her standing on this and not in a weird spot. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a mark where I want her feet, and I'm going to put a mark where I want that to sit, and where I want that to sit. And maybe this will get it done for me. I hope. No, I don't have a mark where I want this to sit. Hopefully they all blend in well. Okay. Let's glue this. Okay, let's see if that worked out. I'm not going to put anything on the tip because that's going to be hanging off a little bit. So that goes in there. There's a little line there. I'm going to just bring it up a tad bit so it reaches that line and it's not sticking out where we see it real good. And then this goes right here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here and just attach this. Hope we can get it back on there. And then that, I think, all goes on top of this. And then I have a little spot. Oh, that where it was? I think so. If I do this and I do this, it works. Okay. So let's glue this down. Yeah, that's good. I don't need the glue on the edge. Paper towel, Stephanie, paper towel. And then her. She's awfully small, and so for her, I was going to put some of that, this stuff on her for a belt. And I thought it kind of would look good because she's a butterfly girl, and I thought a butterfly girl needs a wispy belt, doesn't she? Okay. And I don't know, did I leave it? I had a little bow tied at the end of it. I did leave it. Doesn't, you know, it's a lot. It's kind of, you know, real fluffy and stuff, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. And I played with it a lot to try and get her the little bows small enough. But this stuff is very fussy. I know that you guys know that. It's hard to, once you start messing with it, everything goes wrong. Okay, I am going to put a dot of hot glue on it instead of on the girl, and hope that that is a good decision. And that'll help it not come untied. And I can always trim. So like maybe that's a little bit much up here around her face. So I'm going to trim a little bit of that away. And maybe that won't make it as crazy. I might regret it, but I think it'll be okay. There. Oh goodness, now I've got those things everywhere too. All right, so there she is. I definitely want to play with some more of those markers and, you know, the dolls and fix them up. Okay, so there we have it, you guys. Those are today's using up the masterboard stuff. So hope you like them, and thanks for spending time with me. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.